Hey everybody, I wanted to do a quick Breakfast Tea and Bourbon video number 3 because look what I got in the mail. Pete sent a copy of Breakfast Tea and Bourbon, and as promised, I am going to give it away to one of you. At the end of the video, I'll put up the details on how we're going to do that. So, it's awesome having the book. Like I said before, I've had the Kindle. Let's see. April. So the treasure hunt's been out for 2 months now, and I've had the Kindle for that time. And some people I've been talking to on the hunt, shout out to Jeremy and Dustin, because they're the ones that pointed this out, and I verified it once I got the book. We have a issue. Pete, I know you don't want to talk about anything in the book. You don't want to discuss clues. You won't answer any questions, but you have to answer this because it's important. The cipher, the random, seemingly random strings of numbers and letters is different between the book and the Kindle version. And I will put up here the difference. Which one is correct? That is a huge difference. And you can't not answer if a mistake was made or not. If that is a cipher that we need to solve, we need to know which one is the correct one. So the book has one. And I'll just go through it real quick. The book has, and everybody can follow along, make sure I got it right. The book has ET, 4UE, 2I, 2L, 6J, A2, T4, UL, B15, YS, 50J. That's 25 characters. That's in the book. But the Kindle version, at least my Kindle version, has E2, TUE, 3I, 2L, 2, JA2. TUL, B5YS, 3OJ, and that's only 23 characters. So something is going on here. If this is a cipher we have to solve, you got to tell us which is the correct one. If a mistake was made in the Kindle or a mistake was made in the book, we need to know that. So either reply to this video or put it on the Facebook page, or the next time you do an update and send the mass email out to everybody, an update on the treasure hunt, we got to know if this was a mistake or not. Not is it a clue, not how to solve it, none of that, just is it a mistake? And if so, which one is the correct one that we need to go off of? Because, for people that have spent a lot of time, if the book is correct, the people with Kindle have now been working with the wrong cipher, and if the Kindle one is correct, the people with the book have been working on an incorrect cipher for 2 months. So, not good. I cannot think of a reason why the cipher should be different between the book and the Kindle. Can anybody else think of a reason why they should be different? If usually people get one or the other. I don't know if people are getting both the Kindle and the book. So you would not know about the other until you communicate with other people working on the hunt, like I did with Jeremy and Dustin. Yeah, Pete, we got to have an answer on that one here. Pretty quick, buddy. So I will put it up here just so you guys can double check me, make sure it's right. And yeah, we'll wait to hear from Pete on that one. Other than that, let's talk about clues. This has turned into a very interesting hunt. You know, it's a small book. It's only, 255 pages? No, I take that back. It's only 194 pages. 194 pages, $50,000. We are 2 months in. There's only 4 months left. Well, I take that back. He's not going to end the hunt. He said if it's not found by September, he'll add another $5,000 to the hunt. So we're 2 months in. There's another 4 months before it's increased. So I guess you could say we should all wait till September and get an extra $5,000, right? But we all want to be the first one to find it. So it's interesting. You know, New Orleans, those clues in New Orleans are there, boy. They're blatantly obvious, right? Most of them. But then you see clues for other things. I'll just put it out there. I've seen clues for New Orleans, Louisville, Kentucky, New York City, Brownsville, Texas, and even Minneapolis, Minnesota. So those are the cities I've found. New Orleans has got the most, but I just wonder if it's misdirection, you know? What do you guys think on that? And I'm wondering on the Brownsville, Texas. Has anybody else seen? There's 2 clues I found that point to Brownsville, Texas. And I will release them in the next video. I'm just wondering, has anybody else seen what they are? Shoot me an email. Put it in the comments. Here's something else that somebody pointed out, and I cannot remember who posted this or where. It might have been on the Mysterious Writings forum. It may have been in an email to me. I can't remember who sent this to me, and I can't find it. So whoever did, email me, and I'll definitely give you the credit in the next vlog. Chapter 1, page 3. Have you guys noticed this? Check it out. That's the joy of a good bourbon sidecar. A ribbon scoured, a bronco bruised. Your mind can travel anywhere you want. Off on fantasies, diving into words, hint, hint, looking for hidden treasure, or just being present in the pearl of the moment. Right here, he's giving us one method that he's put clues in the book. Bourbon sidecar is an anagram to a ribbon scoured and also a bronco bruised. So right there, he's giving us hints that the names in the book were anagrams. If there's more anagrams in the book, I have not found them yet. So if anybody wants to share, if you found more than what did we have? We had 4 names that were anagrams. That was in vlog number 2, right? So if anybody, now here's another anagram, although I think this is just showing us that the anagrams are in the book. So, and I'm sure there could be more. It's a good possibility. So I thought that was interesting. Right there on page 3, he gives us an example and a hint to the way he's hid clues in the book. Something tells me he does not do that for the harder clues. I don't think we have an example of how the hard clues are hid in the book. Okay, so here are some of the clues that I've found for New Orleans. He mentions Purple Rain a lot. There's a Purple Rain bar in New Orleans, Louisiana. Is that an actual clue? I don't know. It's just something I found. See, the problem I'm having is once we went through the anagrams and we identified New Orleans, now everything I come across in the book, I just Google it to see if there's one in New Orleans, and oh, that's a clue. Well, it might not be. I'm making it fit New Orleans because that's where I'm searching. Gold with purple and green, those are Mardi Gras colors. The Frog Prince, to me, that's a clue to Princess and the Frog, the Disney movie, and that is set in Louisiana. Now, this is an interesting one, and I'll come back to this one, but Fletch, they talk about the Fletch movies, and specifically they say Fletch Lives. And Fletch Lives, the setting was Thibodaux, Louisiana, or Thibodaux, however you pronounce that. Thibodaux, Louisiana is, an hour from New Orleans? So is it a clue to the general area, or is it a clue to something else? Can anybody think how Fletch Lives could be a clue to another location that's not in Louisiana? Something I came up with that I think is kind of clever. Big Bob's Barbecue, where is that at? I don't know. I haven't been able to find one. Great Balls of Fire, Jerry Lee Lewis, I believe, was born in Faraday, Louisiana. But again, that's not New Orleans, that's Faraday. So is that a clue to Louisiana or not? I don't know. Now, something I thought was interesting, he mentions the bicentennial tree, right? And when I looked it up, Atchafalaya State Park. Now, I don't think the clue is to Atchafalaya State Park, but I think that name is very interesting, Atchafalaya, because with that Cajun accent that they have down here and some of these crazy names, I wonder if the Hodaddy clue, Hodaddy Tis Tis Prettify Intro Fly, we're supposed to sound out. So Atchafalaya, maybe there's a park name that sounds like Hodaddy Tis Tis Prettify Intro Fly. I haven't found one yet, but I'm wondering because in the book they say it over and over again, and it almost sounds like he's sounding out a word or words that we're supposed to figure out. Hodaddy Tis Tis Prettify Intro Fly. Hodaddy Tis Tis Prettify Intro Fly. South Georgia. Do we leave it off? Do we not leave it off? Interesting, isn't it? Pete, you didn't make it easy, I'll tell you that. Not a trace, not a soda, not a curl, not a cocoa, been bit. I have no idea what the hell that means. Although they said it was how they decided where to park. So it almost seems like when we figure out the correct location from the Hodaddy clue, we then use the Nada line to figure out where to park. Like there's multiple parking areas into this park or wherever it is that the treasure is hidden. Not a trace, not a soda, not a curl, not a cocoa, been bit. I don't know. And then the cipher, Pete, you got to answer that question because I'm not going to work on it anymore until I know which one is the correct one. Not that I've worked on it that much to begin with because it's seemingly a random set of numbers and letters. So I wonder if it's a red herring, a dead end. He just threw that in there so everybody spends time on it. But then why would it be different between the book and the Kindle? To show us, to point it out that, hey, it's a dead end because the numbers are different? I've never heard of a treasure hunt where there's a difference between a printed book and a Kindle, an ebook. Have you guys? So Pete, please answer that, whether all we need to know is it intentional or not. All right, enough on that. So yeah, those are some of the clues. Now I'm going to show you I'm going to tell you an idea I've had. Might be far-fetched, maybe it's not so far-fetched. You know, in the book, he mentions New York City. He went on a parade, I believe, or they marched or protested in New York City. And later on, he mentions the Gray Lady. The Gray Lady is the New York Times, I believe. It's one of the news publications in New York. So there's two references to New York City. Fletch lives. Fletch. Mysteries hide a big clue for my life. Fletch lives. What if it's not a clue to the movies, but it's a clue to Chevy Chase? Fletch lives. In order to live, you have to have been born. And where was Chevy Chase born? Manhattan, New York City. What else is in Manhattan, New York City, that I think would be a very interesting place to hide a treasure that we're looking for? A very large place. The other thing in the book is there's a lot of references to apples, right? And what does New York City call the Big Apple? So where do you think in New York City Pete could have hid that flute or frog or whatever it is we're looking for, whatever that handcrafted object is? Where's a good place in NYC, specifically Manhattan, that he could have hid it? Central Park. Central Park's huge. I've never been there personally. I've been to Manhattan, but I've never been to Central Park. I think it would be really cool if it was in Central Park. I think even if we knew it was in Central Park, it might take a while to actually find it. That park is so big and there's so many paces we have to walk and directions we have to follow. But there's so many statues in that park and so many landmarks and so many different things that, yeah, I think it would be interesting if it was there. If anybody lives by Central Park, if anybody knows anybody that lives in Central Park, maybe you should try and get this book. But if you're interested in working together, send me an email, because I'm not anywhere near Central Park. And if I knew where it was for sure, I would go. But if I really wasn't sure, but I thought I had a good idea, I'd have somebody else go for me, and we could work out a deal. So what do you think about the Central Park idea? Those are only 3 clues, I know. He mentions New York City by name, the Gray Lady, the Big Apple. I think I had some other ones. Another one's in New Orleans was NCIS and Night Watch. Those are 2 TV shows that are in New Orleans. What do you guys think? Ho Daddy Tis Tis Prettify Intro Fly, South Georgia. Does that fit New York City in any way, shape, or form? Not that I can think of. Not a trace, not a soda, not a curl, not a cocoa, Ben Bit. Central Park? Or Pete, being the sneaky dog that he is, did he put the clues to NYC so that I would think of Central Park and be thrown off New Orleans? I don't know. I kind of want it to be in Central Park. But New Orleans is cool too. You know, New Orleans, it's down, for me, the clues point to one of 2 parks, the Audubon Park or the City Park. Those 2 big parks right there in New Orleans. I know people have searched both parks that I've talked to, and nobody's been able to make the clues fit. So that's kind of where we're at least where I'm at. So, free book giveaway. This book right here will be yours free of charge if you do the following. Send me a letter, send me a postcard, send me a post-it note, as long as it has the postage on it that can get to my address, which is down below. Send me your name, send me an address where you want the book shipped, and once I get those, I will pull a random one, and that's who's going to get the book. And we'll do a cutoff date. What's today? The first week in April. We'll do a cutoff date of the end of the month. So get that to me by the last day in April, and the first week in May, I'll pull one live on the video, on a vlog, and yeah, that's who's going to get the book. So thank you, Pete, for sending it. We'll see how many responses we get, and if nobody sends me anything in the mail, I'm keeping it. So all I need is your name, where you want the book shipped, and if you want to tell me why you want the book and what you would do with 50 grand, that'd be cool too, because I know Pete watches the videos. So who knows, maybe Pete will give us a clue one of these days if nobody seems to be close. You know, those treasure hunting voicemails that he's playing, those are pretty cool, aren't they? That he beeps out where people thinks it is. It's pretty fun to try and listen to it and go, I think I know what park they're in. I've heard of a couple people that are doing that. Like, I know where that person is. So, breakfast, tea, and bourbon. Yeah, I think that's all there is to say. Let's start sharing some ideas. I've got one other idea for South Georgia that I'm not going to share just yet, but I will if I can't make it work. It's kind of far-fetched, maybe not. I think in the next vlog, I'll share that if I can't make it work to a location. Well, it does work to a location. That's what I don't like. But I can't make other things work to the location. So, anyway, let me know what you think. And remember, I'm not going to take an email. I'm not going to take comments. You have to send me something in the mail to the address down below in order to be in the drawing for this book. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe because there's going to be more videos on breakfast, tea, and bourbon and these clues as they come up. Share it, comment, thumbs it up, and I will see you next time.